Hey everybody, it's Martha Blessing. Happy Wednesday. We're gonna try this again. I have no idea what happened earlier, um, but for whatever reason, it seems like the video did not go live. Let's just leave it at that. So I apologize. We were to be live at 10 o'clock and it's now 11:15. So anyway, thanks for being here. I'm also trying a new software today. Hopefully you can see the title, and there should be a link that plays through the broadcast. I'm using a new software, and if you want to be allowed to let me see your comments and see you live, the software doesn't allow that unless you click on the link and give access to be live, so that it will be you'll come through live in the video with your questions, and I'll know who you are. So that being said, thank you for being here. The topic today is about, oh my gosh, what does it feel like when there's roadblocks all the time and we don't know how to break through them? Like, where are we getting stuck? So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Martha Blessing. I am an intuitive, I am a life coach and a healing mentor and a spiritual teacher. And so I'm doing these live trainings within the Healed and Unlimited group here on Facebook, because it allows me to teach what it is that I do and to help you break through the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual debris that's getting in the way of you creating health, creating well-being, having the healing that you desire in your body and in your life, and to step into your personal power and live your purpose and live with joy. So that's what we're doing here each week on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. I was talking with a client. Why did I pick this topic? It's been coming up a lot. A lot of people seem to be stuck in the same place. And so I was talking with a former client recently, and she had just come back from doing a training event on essential oils. And I've known her for many years, and she's been working through some health challenges. And then also she has a big desire to be a practitioner and to help others. And so she came back from this training, and she should be really excited and enthusiastic about everything that she's learned and what's going on. But she wasn't. And so she said she came away from it with this feeling like there's always a roadblock in the way. There's always something that's getting in the way of her, building this business and building this practice and putting her gifts and skills out into the world to help other people. So when she said that, those of you that don't know me, I channel a group of healing guides by the name of Grayson. And Grayson is always kind of over my shoulder, giving me downloads on what the corrections are, what they see and deliver the information on where's the blocks in people. And so, immediately the first thing that came through was, well, there's no roadblock. You're just putting it up in the way. You're creating the roadblocks. And so I can't always say that to people right in the moment. It's maybe not, a live session or coaching, and it's not appropriate. So I've experienced this many times in my life, that feeling of there's a roadblock. When I was in a wheelchair, clearly I felt like there was a roadblock. When I had fibromyalgia, when I was moving through getting from where I was to where I wanted to be and using my gifts and talents in the world, I did many times feel like I was just stuck. Like, and this happens for a lot of people and a lot of my clients. You want to create change, you want to create healing, and it feels like you're doing the right steps. You've created your plan. There's like these check boxes, and you're going, okay, I did this. Okay, I did this. I need to get this. I need to get that. Well, part of the problem is we can't fix a problem with the same mind that created it. So in our minds, we're thinking about, well, this is what I need to do. This is what needs to happen. And sometimes that is true, but other times we're in that place of creating the problem with our same brain, and so we can't see it clearly. We can't see what it is. You have a dream, you have a desire, and you start doing the things to check off the check boxes, but you're still not there. So what gives? What's going on? You're sitting there scratching your head, wondering, what am I missing and why aren't I there yet? So whether or not, and this applies to many areas in our life, okay? Whether you're working on health, whether you're working on healing your physical body, whether there's an energetic imbalance of anxiety or depression or digestive disorders, insomnia, any of those sorts of things. But it also applies to even things like weight loss, which is a huge, huge thing with a lot of women and a lot of people, why they can't reach that goal. It's not just about overeating, right? There's something going on why you're in that roadblock. Why does somebody lose 20, 30, 40, 80 pounds and gain it back again? It's not because they don't want to be at that weight that they were at. And it also applies to whether or not you're trying to create a new business or a holistic practice or any of those sorts of things. You're thinking to yourself, there's got to be something missing. And oh my gosh, I remember these days like so well. They weren't that long ago. What's the answer? What's the answer, right? You're racking your brain. What's the answer? That's part of the problem. And I have to admit, like when I was going through a lot of my healing and becoming a holistic health practitioner and educator before I did, my methodology and my coaching, I had a lot of times where, back then it was pre-internet, right? And so there wasn't as much noise. We didn't have the ability to be constantly searching outside ourselves, constantly searching for answers. And sometimes that's the problem. And I did it for years. So you want to heal, you want to live your purpose, and you want to build something that encompasses everything that you are. So what gives? You're doing the work, you're still stuck in this place. What's in the way? Well, here's the thing. What do I tell people? And it's something that we hear a lot, go within. Well, how could that answer be within, right? Like our psyche, our mind is telling us, oh, it's there's something more out there, right? Like this woman went to a class and she got skills, she got training to work with essential oils and to go deeper and to go further in working with people with essential oils. Well, then they told her that she needed more training, right? And so that to her was a roadblock. Well, is that the truth? Do you really need more training? Do you have the tools? Now, I know her. She's got trainings and she's got enough trainings and she's got enough trainings to build a business and build a practice. So, what's really going on? What's getting in the way? What is that roadblock? It's resistance. It's resistance within herself. It's resistance within ourselves when this happens and we feel that there's a roadblock. So the answer is to begin within. I used to hate that word resistance. It used to piss me off. I'd be like, what the hell? Why is everybody talking about resistance? Like, I don't understand. I get, okay, resistance, but what am I resisting? What is the problem? Okay, resistance is the problem, but what is underlying? What is the cause of this? So it didn't make sense to me. What is resistance and what does that mean? The truth is, we're fighting with our inner critic. Resistance is our fight, it's our internal dialogue with our inner critic. We're fighting with the untruths that we're holding, the beliefs. We're fighting with our worthiness or our unworthiness. And the biggest piece of it is that we are fighting with our shame. Yeah, it's shame. Resistance, I guarantee you, if you look at all of these places and things where we're stuck, there is an inner critic in there that is keeping us stuck in shame and keeping us in a dialogue that's related to whatever it is that we want to do. And that is the roadblock. The inner critic is putting up this wall of shame to stop us. In our minds, subconsciously, we want to feel safe. And what shame does is keeps us down. It keeps us in this place of not having to grow, not having to step outside of our comfort zone. And yet the shame is anything but comfortable. So, what's the shame about? For this person, and for many of us, it was true for me. We're afraid to be seen. We have something from our childhood, we have something from our past, we have something somewhere, it doesn't even have to be a big thing, that is shaming us, and we're afraid to be seen. Now, look at this is when I say the resistance, the internal dialogue, and the struggle and the roadblock. How is it that you want to be a practitioner, you want to help people, and yet you don't want to be seen? Can't happen. Like that's a complete direct conflict, right? So we're afraid to be seen. For many people who are empaths, it's that wounded healer aspect. And I have one client that I've been coaching with now for about 6 months. And, when you grow up in an alcoholic environment, when you grow up it doesn't even have to be alcoholic, it can be anything. Our parents, stuff happened, right? Children are to be seen and not heard. Children are not to be seen and not to be heard. Like we get these messages of being quiet, having control, getting love, getting approval. And so you shut down, you damper down in order to get approval, in order to get love. But now we're grown up and we're still shut down, and we're still living with that shame of feeling unworthy, of feeling not good enough, and not wanting to be seen. And so it's a catch-22. I want to be seen, I don't want to be seen. I want to do more, but I'm afraid to be seen. We're living with the shame. And the not being seen part is we don't want anybody to know whatever this dirty secret is. We don't want anybody to know what our secrets are. We don't want them to see our secret. We don't want them to see our shame. We don't want them to see our guilt. We don't want them to know about it. And what keeps us putting the roadblock up is we don't want to experience it fully for ourselves. This is where with weight loss, with diet and weight loss and obesity, that stuffing ourselves, better we can shame ourselves about the food. Like it's just another form of shaming ourselves rather than getting at what the real true cause is underneath about what we're stuffing, what we're trying to not feel, what we're trying to not experience. It's always some kind of shame or guilt. Guilt is the action, shame is the feeling. It's guilt is for something I've done, shame is for who I am. So we're shaming ourselves for who we are. That's a learned behavior. So it has to be unlearned. Again, it's back to unlearning what isn't true about ourselves. And this is the process of what healing is. Wherever we have anxiety, wherever we have pain, wherever we, for me, I had fibromyalgia, it was in my back. Wherever this is going on, this is our feeling in our body of constricting and holding against ourselves. It's why it's why the love meditation exists. If you haven't done the love meditation, go to the website and start there, because it's about feeling love for ourselves and releasing that shame. That's what the resistance is. We don't want to go back through and clear and feel that shame. There's no other way out. Begin within. So we stay in this place, we're putting the blocks up, right? And how do we break through this? And how do we stop like chasing after everything that's outside of us, another class, another, credential, another this, another that? Let me tell you what the solution is. There's a couple of things. Number one, if you are stuck and it feels like there is a constant roadblock, then number one, it's a skill set. Okay. I had a burning desire to do the work that I'm doing. I didn't always know exactly how it was going to play out and how it was going to show up, but I've had a burning desire. I knew it was in my heart and my soul to do this work with people. And so, I needed to learn skill sets. I needed to learn how to do what it was that I needed to do. I didn't know how to clear everything. I didn't know how to clear a mindset and shift and change my mindset. I didn't know how to run a business. Like, these are all things that I had to do and I had to learn. And so those things you can learn. You cannot, no one can teach you desire. If you don't have a strong desire to heal, if you don't have a strong desire to create a business, if you don't have a strong desire to create a different life than what you're experiencing right now, no one can teach you that. You have to have the desire, number one, first of all. Number two, after that, it's skill set. It's learning a skill set. You have to have someone teach you how to unpack the shame. If it's not with me, then it needs to be with someone else. And it can't just be dropping yourself off on someone else's table. Yes, Reiki is lovely. Yes, tapping is wonderful. Yes, massage is wonderful. But there is some shit in there, okay, for most of us. I mean, I look at the world and I talk to people every single day. There is some shit. And just going and fluffing on a table isn't going to do it. Just putting oils on the bottom of your feet isn't going to do it. Like, we have to get at the mindset, at the shame, at the subconscious programming. And because that's what's stored in our physical body, that's the anxiety, that's the fear, that's the wounds, that's all the heart disease and just everything. Okay. You have to find someone that's going to work with you and help you unpack it and release it. I'm going to be doing another live stream because a conversation I had earlier a couple weeks ago, and it keeps coming up, is about how do you move through the resistance, push through the resistance without triggering PTSD or traumatic results. That's another live stream. That might be next week. That's another conversation. Because there are people and skills and things that you need to do. It's really sort of a three-pronged approach. But anyway, so you have to unpack it. Number three, you have to unlearn what isn't true about yourself. This is what I've been saying and doing and working in my life and with all of my clients, is that, you know, the stories that we're telling ourselves are just that, they're stories. But we've internalized them and we've carried them around as truth. And so that's part of what we do in the Live Without Limits program, in that group coaching program that I offer, is unlearning and unpacking all of that stuff. Sometimes it's the physical first. Okay, if you're in pain, if you're having symptoms in your physical body, you can't always work on the mental, emotional, and spiritual. You've got to deal with the physical first. That's what we do in the Body Freedom Blueprint program, which is a group program. I'll tell you about it at the end. So all the while, you're, number one, recognizing and acknowledging that there is this shame there, and that it's affecting you. It's actually a roadblock that you're putting up. It's the definition of self-sabotage, right? Like, we just can't seem to break free from it. All of that stuff has to be unpacked at the same time of creating new tools, new systems, new, having accountability is huge, right? I had to do that. I didn't know how to do everything that I do right now. I paid coaches, I paid trainings. There are times where we do need to do that. We don't have to go it alone. And that's a part of it, is recognizing that you have to invest your time, your energy, and your resources to break through this stuff. And you have to have someone that's standing on your side, on your team, and that holds you accountable. That's what my clients do. I mean, 6 months, we're every single week talking. I even had a woman, she said, oh God, it's going to take me probably a year to, deal with all of this stuff. And so she signed up for a 6-month program. And then she said, well, do you have anything shorter? I'm not good at sticking with things. Well, that's exactly why you need 6 to 12 months. It's a process, but it's a deep, continuous process, right, of the unpacking. And at each level, you're going to go through something different, and you're going to need different people and different people to teach you those skill sets. Okay. So that's pretty much it. That's really where the resistance comes from, is that you're putting the roadblocks up for yourself. in feeling unworthy, in feeling scared, in wanting to play it safe, in not wanting to experience a no. My goodness gracious, let me tell you something. When you go out and become a coach, when you go out and get in front of people, when you go out and get seen, it makes you vulnerable. It makes people can dislike you. People can say no to you. And you have to build your personal power. You have to build your soul with stamina and let your soul's purpose become stronger than those voices and those things that you haven't unpacked yet. Okay. So that's what the resistance is. If you are someone who is struggling with this, if you are someone who is trying to create healing in your physical body and you're doing all the things, the right things, and it's not happening, please reach out to me. The Body Freedom Blueprint is an 8-week group experience and coaching program that is available to you. And it is my life's work. It's the modules are delivered to you every single week for 8 weeks. You can either listen to the audio, the video, you can read the transcript. We have group coaching in the Facebook group. We have a live Q&A where we get on Zoom and we go through and we learn as a group. You can bring your questions into that group. It gives you support. It gives you accountability. And you learn the 5 C's, the tools that I've used in my entire life to get from where I was living in a wheelchair to, living the dream, right? But doing this work and helping people and healing in my body, healing cancer, healing fibromyalgia, getting out of a wheelchair, defying the odds of everything. There was a lot of unpacking. And so that's what that group program is about. Please reach out to me. You can email me, martha@marthablessing.com. You can schedule a discovery session from the website at marthablessing.com. Go have a look at the Body Freedom Blueprint. I'd love to have you join us. If you have already done private coaching with me, or you've done a blueprint with me, and you want to go deeper and you want to unpack this shame and all of these things that are keeping you stuck where you are, and learn the skill set that you are missing in order to do that and move forward in your life. Again, there is the Live Without Limits program, and there's also my private coaching. Live Without Limits is a group coaching program. It's a 6-month group coaching program. Or there is the private coaching where you can get weekly one-on-one and go in depth and take care of those things and learn and have the steps and the tools to do it once and for all, and to step forward into your personal power and do the work that you came here to do and be who it is you came here to be and live healed and live unlimited. So thank you again for watching. I will see you guys again next week. I apologize for the delay on this one, not going live at 10 o'clock, and I will see you again next week. Take care. Have a great 4th of July and live your independence. Bye-bye.